All right, guys. He's playing Terran. We got Team Liquid's CLEM. Top right side of the quarterfinals here. Upper bracket of Maestros of the game. $25,000 tournament. And Hero facing off against him, his nemesis. But is he really? I don't think so. I actually think CLEM can just play straight up bio, aggro, Terran against Hero and have a good shot against him. It could go either way, of course. Recently, a few weeks ago, just before I went on holiday, Hero wrecked him a few games in a row with like Oracle into Phoenix Zealot sort of stuff. That being said, it's really only Classic that consistently destroys CLEM. And, ooh, okay. eBay at the very last second. Immediately 4 more probes get pulled. One of them will build a Cybercore before heading down. Zealot starts up as well. That Engineering Bay does get about 350 hit points built, which is enough. And that SCV should just go home now. He could try to come in, but he doesn't want to actually build because the moment you start building, you're going to be frozen in that animation for a few seconds and the probes will kill you. You're going to have to go for a pylon. And we get that Nexus up with only a limited delay. I mean, really, very small delay. Not a big deal. He does lose a little bit more probe production here, you could say, but he built an extra couple of probes, or an extra probe, while he was waiting for all that. Now, the Zealot will go out and head across the map. There is already a Reaper moving forwards, which should find a Stalker to greet it, I would imagine. Ah, an Adept, okay. And we've got the factory. Did we see a second Marine? 2 Marines have become way more popular, but looks like he wants to go reactor here. He's waiting for the 50 gas. Oh no, the bunker's blocked by a few seconds. Not the end of the world. Reaper's going to try and wait for the Adept to leave and then go in. Very clever. So look at this. He can see the Shade. The Shade can't see him. And the Reaper goes around the right side. Oh, he went around the left. Yeah, dodges it, and now he gets in. But Hero was playing responsible, and he built a Stalker and chronoed it as well. SCV gets taken down in the bunker. Uh-oh. That's going to be unfortunate. He's going to lose another one. 2 SCVs. Throws a grenade. The Reaper's dead, mate. He's not going to get any kills with that. He can try to rotate and get a little bit of healing off, but hard to put space between yourself and a Stalker. Oh, great movement. He realized that pylon actually blocked the Stalker. The Reaper's going to get out of there. But with a Zealot and Adept on his natural, he's in big trubs. He has to build a depot behind the main base to try to get unsupply blocked in a moment because he knows that with the command center not finishing, he will inevitably get supply blocked. Marines should actually rally south because only 1 Marine can squeeze out there, but he actually changes to the front anyway, so that's a-okay. 3 Marines there, not the most perfect starter step. He will take care of that Zealot. And 2 Marines in the Hellion will be able to take care of the Adept finally. The Reaper's a little slow though to the party. Depot's raised at the very last second, and that should be a dead Adept. As the dust settles, we do have a Twilight Council finished. Blink beginning. Oh, Stalkers are here on the front as well. Oh, this is a disaster. This is really bad for CLEM. He needs another SCV down here. He's already bringing one down. Good micro on his Hellion, though. Oh, very good micro. This should have been a disaster, but I forgot we're watching CLEM, ladies and gentlemen. Most Terran players lose the game here, and CLEM casually gets the Stalker kill without losing anything. Like, literally, maybe 1 Marine, but I think he lost both those Marines to the Zealot Adept. So he loses nothing. And he gets a Stalker kill. Oh, that was sloppy. He should have unloaded a Marine in that millisecond and then quickly saved it. But look at the way CLEM is just clicking with his ding-dong right now. Unnecessary for him. Loses the Reaper and 2 Marines for no good reason. I get he wants to sneak the Hellion out to scout, but a little greedy for him, and he does get punished. 3rd Nexus, Robo on the way. Should be seeing that 3rd gas momentarily for Hero. Staying 2 gas for a very long time this game so far. Cloak and Siege Tank on the way, which means CLEM might just go for a super aggro push. Yeah, he's got a 3rd gas on the way. He wants to non-stop build tanks and Banshees, Marines, and just barrel across this map. I would not be surprised to see a boy pull. 3rd Gateway and a Forge. Stalkers push the Hellion back on that side, but CLEM's aware of what he's facing. I think he has a good idea there is a base there. Banshee flies in. Sees the pylon, flies away, does give away what he's up to. The Observer and the Stalkers will be prepared. And 3rd Command Center goes down. Oh, he's going to play mech. Right, of course. He always plays Banshees when he plays mech. I think he can play Bio. I actually think when I was watching Classic against CLEM's mech, I remember thinking Hero would make this look very easy to beat. And it wasn't even like, there's not even a reason, it was just a feeling. I was like, I feel like that? I don't know why. No, you know, I have no idea why. It just feels like it's something Hero would just kill you as you take your 3rd every single game. Then again, Maybe not every game. Like I was saying, I think I even said in my cast, I think Hero would drop a map in a best of 5, but probably dominate the other games a bit harder. Whereas Classic, every game we saw Clem against Classic, it felt like he could have won, but he left just a small opening, and Classic was so good at taking advantage, and Classic often made comebacks in that series, right? From quite far behind. So we'll see how it goes. Banshees are going to come down the left side. We'll see if they find anything in here. Here we go. 2 probes. Observer chasing. Okay, does get out. The observer went into surveillance mode. Gave it extra detection vision for a second, but then once they moved a bit further, of course, the static observer was not able to chase. Armory's on the way right now. Magfield, Hyperflight Rotors. Hero will be getting that Stalker back. Factory's there. Generally speaking, the classic way to beat mech is as they take their third, you do an 8-gate Zealot Stalker attack while warping 8 Zealots in the main. Now, there's only 7 gateways in this case, but he's not probing it all. Hero's just going for an all-in. We know this is the weak point, is right when you move out to take a third. Clem is in a really nasty spot. If those Marines are going to die to friendly fire when the Zealots jump on top, the Marines trying to hold out front. The Banshee count is good, though. 4 Banshees is crazy, guys. Wow, 4 Banshees is actually crazy. Those Hellions might help a fair bit as well. The tanks will go down. The Marines need to get in the bunker. Charge is not ready. These were slow Zealots. This was a very hero attack, guys. It looks like a sloppy hot mess, but he cleared the tanks, which means maybe if he'd actually remembered to make charge on time, it would have been good. That was a disaster of an attack. I think if he had charge, that's actually a pretty simple attack, especially if he brings an observer. He's got 3 observers. You really need to make sure you have one to deal with those Banshees. Hellbat, Cyclone, Banshee, Siege Tank. I do like those tanks in the reserve. Remember, there was this map where he tried to move out and got caught in the open with all of his tanks, and that's where he lost to Classic. Hero's not really progressing much. He's got a 4th. He's probing a little bit, like no +2. He's on only 8 gateways, but he knows that Clem has so little map vision, he can't really venture out. Like, I would love to see Clem move out with a Banshee or an SCV or something to scout, but surprise attack from the left side. Here we go. Clem gonna try and dart forwards. The tanks disappear instantaneously, and that's such an excellent start to the fight. But Cyclones do take out the observers. 1 Banshee gets sniped, but now the Banshees do chase him away. I wonder if it's worth chasing a little bit further there. There's only 1 observer on the map. It's on the other side. He could have chased with the Banshees, but it's just so high risk, and now Clem is dangerously low on energy, and every time you engage like this, the Banshee energy gets too low. It's kind of like making a Terran overstim. Siege tank sieged up in the back. Does help defend a little bit. Good hot pickup on that Stalker. Yeah, Hero's just giving him no room to breathe. 4th Command Center is trying to build. If Clem could max out, I think he'd be in a great spot, but of course, no chance to do that here. Hellbat, Cyclones, Tanks and Banshees trying to defend. The Banshees pulling back here. He's not able to get rid of the Observer, which means the Banshees will get focused down. And Hero just non-stop aggression. No chance to get established with that mech army. Alright, guys. Got crushed in game 1. Clem, maybe a little too predictable going for mech, but one has to realize if you have a bad opening, it is always tough. And he did have a rough opening. Clem, gonna go for an engineering bay block again in map 2. Apparently we're playing Gressven. Cool. I've not honestly looked at the map pool for this tournament, guys. Apparently we're playing Gressven. We didn't have this one in the map pool for all that long. It was, of course, in the 2022 to 2023 season, end of 2022. This is the map pool where Oliveira won Katowice and became the world champion. It's not a bad map. Gonna move south. Take a different base all the way out here. Oh me, oh my. SCV's gonna go in. And seeing no second gas. Should realize, oh yeah, he's just going to take the other 3rd base. No crazy surprises here for young Clem. Bunker on the high ground. Oh, he's a little afraid, isn't he? He does not realize what's happening. And now he does. SCV quickly runs away, cancels the bunker. And he's going to go for that reactor after that. This does delay his command center starting, though. I think he really thought he was getting cheesed here. He wasn't. I'd love to see more bio play for Clem. I do think Hero is very weak to bio. That being said, the just amount of Storm available, I think, has created trauma in Clem that many average Joe Terrans are able to relate to. I mean, if you guys have never played TVP before, you might not understand. You know, you're like, oh, what? Just use EMP, bro. Historically, yes, for the top pros, that was the case. And it did, you know, Clem would just smash through. Lately, it's really hard for him to actually have enough EMPs and land them on all the High Templar because there's so many. And even Hero some games spreads his High Templar out, which is like revolutionary because Hero normally loves to clump 6 High Templar into as tight a space as possible and then get them double EMP'd. We are seeing a Cyclone and a second Barracks. So it is a bio play, probably a 3 Barracks is what I would imagine here. Yeah. You guys remember easy TVP 2-base push guide I did several years ago? This is going to be a very similar vein of build to that. It doesn't have to go into the all-in attack that I do in that build where it's just a heavy... I think that was we'd hit it about 730 with 50 Marines with +1 stim and shields. I think it'd be like 2 medevacs and I think it was like 4 or 5 siege tanks. I think it was 5 siege tanks. It's a very powerful attack. But that's if your opponent doesn't realize what you're up to. If they realize what you're up to and they're very greedy early or they get some damage done beforehand, the Blink Stalkers are there to pick off your units as you try to move across the map. It can be really awkward to make that build happen. The Cyclone's here to try and help deny scouting. Hero, so far, has built a shield battery in both bases, which is not really going to help him because there's no medevacs. There's no starport with this, right? And if you want, you can go straight concussive. You can start building Marauders, Marines, tanks. And you basically just pull the boys and go for a giant all-in. This is the sort of build where it's near impossible to have Storm ready for this push. Ideally, you go for either very early charge or... I mean, even just a lot of Blink Stalkers picking off this army as it comes across the map while you slowly work your way into charge is pretty good. Yeah, that flies directly over the Cyclone and still scouts everything, so that sucks for Clem. Cyclone perfectly positioned to intercept the scout. The Hallucination Phoenix... I mean, yeah, there's a few things. We could just make it take more damage, have less vision. There's a few things we could do to make that scout a bit less obnoxious. Definitely a bit too dominant in this matchup right now. Marine tank Cyclone trying to move out. He's got an Engineering Bay coming down behind him, so he's done this without the +1 upgrade so far. Cyclone's going to get focused if he's not careful. Yeah. This is really good. So moving out on the map. Oh, but great micro for Hero. Doesn't actually lose any Stalkers. He's got a Robo on the way, another Gateway. He's making... charge. So he's going to try and defend pre-splash damage for the most part, but look at that. Clem's not all in. Swaps the factory off, doesn't keep building tanks, because if you keep building tanks, you end up with a very immobile army. He's going to swap to medevacs, stopping the Marauders, and the Engineering Base should start +1. It's just he's very low on gas. So this is a 2 gas build. Now he's added a 3rd. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 4th gas go up any moment now for Clem, just because otherwise it's impossible to afford any medevacs. I think we will see that now. Yeah, he goes to start medevacs and he's like, I don't have gas. Crud. So he does take the 4th gas a little bit late. It's not a smooth transition off of this build, man. You can see he's building nothing but Marines and 1 medevac right now. That being said, no 3rd Nexus for Hero. Hero's economy is not great. Hero saw a big scary all-in. He now sees the starports producing, so he knows it's not just completely all-in anymore. And he adds a Forge. Already had a Robo Bay on the way. We're going to try and play Colossus against this. I do think this is Clem's forte, playing bio into Colossus styles. He is often nigh unstoppable. But playing so much mech, so much PvP recently, I do wonder how he's going to fare. I really do feel Classic's the one guy that's completely got his number. Playing straight up, right? The Storm against bio style goes pretty badly for him usually. Tries to move out, but there's Stalkers and Zealots everywhere. Hello. First Colossus on the way. 3rd Nexus is just started. Hero is on a really bad income. If Clem just drops the 3rd Command Center and chills, he's in an amazing spot. But Hero's building such a big army, maybe he can just mass an army on 2 base and do well. I don't know, it just feels awkward. 3rd Command Center starts. Clem doesn't have any information. That's the problem he has right now, guys. He really doesn't know like what's happening, you know? Oh. Ooh. medevac goes down. Oh, but watch out, mate. No concussive shells, though. Okay, it's just going to be 3 Stalkers. Could have been worse. Units lost have 1 medevac and 3 Marines for 3 Stalkers and a probe. It is in favor of CLEM, and I mean, Hero's in such a bad spot economically. 44 probes. Remember, it's mules as well, guys. It's not just that, oh, you've got... Oh, it's still 2 base against 2. Yeah, there's mules, and the Terran units are usually a bit more valuable. These Colossus force fields need to be big. Hero's got 2 Immortals as well. They could smash these tanks if they can get in range. That is a big if, though. The Cyclone puts so much damage on the Colossus. That Cyclone locked on for so long, and it gets the Colossus deep into the orange hit points there. Bio trying to stem forwards. The Colossus is going to go down, as will the Immortals. Nice play here for CLEM. He's got a lot of Zealots hitting him on the other side of the map, but he's going to pull back with these guys. He holds position. Other side of the map, the Marine Marauder is just barely going to hold on with the medevac healing. The new Colossus rallies out. It says, I would like to die. The Bio could easily click on that. They do. And that Bio ball with 4 medevacs out front holds position. Hero too far behind in economy for a bit too long this game. And this is a good example of a game where I think Hero needed to follow up Scout a lot early with this hallucination. I'm going to try and rewind quickly at the end and show you guys. Because I think at about the 4.5 minute mark, after his first Scout, I think after this Scout here, he should have come in at 5 minutes and seen the factory swap. And that tells you all you need to know, that this is not as committed. That pivot from CLEM is something that Hero took too long to find out about. And that's why he was still too busy preparing for what he thought was a 5.5 minute all-in. Ended up being more of a standard play for CLEM. Alright, guys. We got CLEM in the top right side of the map. Hero in the bottom left side. And does he continue to play Bio, is the question. We are on Sandworm, a map with a very small main base, which I think could probably be a good thing as a mech player, right? Because it's, I guess, a bit easier to defend warp prisms. These somewhat open areas in the middle, though, will be good for Protoss against mech. From the Hero point of view, I'd love to see him just play Storm again. I feel like the last, you know, ever since EWC, he plays Storm, he wins. He plays non-Storm, and he does not do anywhere near as well, especially against CLEM. Against other players, he does fine. No, actually, Bjorn was beating his Colossus play about a month back as well. There was a few games where it was kind of... I was like, oh, this is kind of close, and then Bjorn would just stomp through the army. Just that energy recharge is just so valuable with Storm, you know what I mean? I think it's really cool we've had an energy recharge patch. I do think it would have been much better if we just nerfed the heck out of hallucinated scouting. Like, very early in the patch, maybe nerfed Stasis Trap a little bit. But otherwise kept, you know, the rest of it. Just because I think Stasis Trap has made PvP. There's been a lot of miserable games loaded and not run into Stasis Traps in PvP. It's kind of cool, though, because now that it's gone back to one-base wars, we don't see that as much. Whereas early on, when everyone was still one-gate expanding, it was much more like, who's going to walk into the Stasis Trap first? But I think it's always good to have something that, you know, creates a very different meta, different changes. I think it's fun. I just think it's one of those things where... Obviously, it's been too powerful, and I think long-term, an ability like Energy Recharge probably will lead to a little bit too much concentration of power within like certain things like, oh, you can't say no. Like, Oracle was already really good against Zerg. Now it's like you're insane if you don't open Oracle against Zerg. Storm was already pretty decent against Terran, but it was like a slightly more, I would say 30 to 40% of the games were Storm, depending on the player. Some people only played Robo, right? And now it's like, you just have to play Storm is such a better option. So I think long-term, it's really bad for diversity in the game, the energy recharge potentially. And that's something where I'm not sure if that means it should be removed, reworked, or just fiddled with a little bit here or there. Be interesting to see long-term where that goes with where the community wants to balance it. But interesting to think about here as I'm just musing. Triple Widow Mine drop, one of my least favorite strategies. But hey, when it pays off big. See what he can do with it. Marines get rid of the Adept. That's really nice. Because now that makes the Stalkers kind of go, oh, is he pushing the front? Do we want to move out to intercept that? It is 3-gate Blink, guys. 4-gate Blink coming up now. Oh my gosh, Blink's almost there. Okay, he's got to get out with the medevac. He gets 2 probes. Oh, Blink finishes just in time, but 6 probes? I think that's perfectly fine. For 3 Widow Mines, your medevac gets home. And you also just saw 3 gateways, right? Yeah, he saw 3 gateways. So as Clem, you're like, oh, okay. Siege this tank up here. It's going to siege it all the way over there. That's very... This is a weird... I don't like his building placement. Because his tank doesn't... The wall-off should be a bit further forward, I feel, so the tank can be here. But, I mean, that'll stop him from dying. Got a few SCVs repairing on the front. Stalkers are ready. They will look for that medevac snipe. That medevac's too far forward. Only 1 tank right now. Raven's going to go for some auto turret harass, which will put Hero all in. But I think if Hero can just kill the bunker, he's fine. Medevac goes down as expected. SCVs are here for the repair. Stalker pickups are very hot. I think only 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker goes down for a medevac and a pack of Marines. That is very frightening. But he's got 2 tanks now, overlapping. Only 1 covering the natural. 2 probes go down to the first auto turret. 3. Oh, he blinks forward and takes out the tank. Oh, he dropped Zealots as well. Really sexy drop on the Zealots there. Using the siege tank friendly fire to take down a bunch of the Marines. The bunker almost gets burnt down. And I think Hero might just be able to take him out here with an old school 4-gate blink. Maybe, maybe not. The SCV is doing pretty well. Remember, Clem can fall to about 25, maybe 30 workers and maybe still be okay. Oh, he's at 28 now. He's got 2 tanks down here. Does not want to let these Stalkers escape. I think that tank maybe should have stayed in siege mode. Big shot does come down. Raven tries to drop an auto turret. Doesn't manage to. The bunker does burn down. That's unfortunate. If he could have repaired that bunker. Because look at this. Oh, no. I think he just dies. The Stalker Zealot can just go hit the front. He's going to go to the high ground. Looks forward. He's going to go for the combat shields. Marine tank plus landed Viking trying to defend. SCVs get pulled forward. Tank on the low ground blasting. But the hot pickup's so powerful with that warp prism. The Zealots warping in though. They're so powerful, man. 6 more SCVs going down. How do you defend this? He unsieges his tank because he doesn't want to friendly fire his own SCVs. Auto turret will do counter damage. I mean, Hero's economy is not great, but it doesn't need to be great. It doesn't need to be. He's done so much to Clem. I think this is technically a recoverable position for Terran, but only technically. It's so bad. It's almost GG because now Hero takes the gold base. He's got some Stalkers here to defend against the future auto turret harass. He can probe back up, and of course we know that Protoss economic production it scales a bit faster than Terran. So because there's no real scary attack timing, like what is it? 3 Marauders and a tank and 6 Marines. You can't really move out with this. If Clem had some way of really getting a big push in very soon, I'd have a bit more hope for him to bring it back in this game. As it is, it's going to be a long shot, but we know that Hero is a master of giving away advantages, right? Very few players are so good at comebacks as Hero is, but also so bad at hanging on to leads. And that's just an honest analysis. It's a very big hole in his game, something which a bit of focused work on would probably turn him into a world champion. But sometimes it's hard for a player to work on that. SCV pull, here we go. Yeah, Clem realized he's got to get something done right now. He cannot screw around. Tank's going to siege up. Force fields could be scary on that corner, but not much damage behind them. The gold base will go down, and that might allow a transition. If he can kill the gold and pull back, maybe. Oh, lots of Zealots in the main. Charges done. Stalkers come in. Viking. No, he's not going to get the prism. Okay, he does. He does get the prism, but that's a lot of Zealots. Oh, my lord. The medevac will get pulled back. Oh, great. Medevac micro, but unfortunately it does go a bit far forward. Gets killed. Nexus does go down. SCV is a little far forward. A few Stalkers going down, though. Not bad. He's going to go back to mining. I think Clem's going to try and turn this into a macro game, dude. Hero loses his base. He loses a lot of Zealots in the main for 12 more SCVs. 40 SCVs have died to 19 probes this game. There's no third Nexus. And guess what? The main's half mined out. The income is very similar. The income is very similar right now. You've got a bio army against a few sentries and immortals. It's all about force field immortal. Siege tank in the open. Clem, he's got to save the tank. He sieges. I thought that was a mistake, but Hero doesn't have a prism. He can't pick up those immortals either. Oh, the force fields were pretty slick though, doesn't he? Doesn't he get some nice force fields off there? Some really good catches. The Widow Mine's coming in though. The Zealots are getting cleared out. And if you're not able to clear this Widow Mine field, it does feel like this Terran army is getting out of control. Oh man, he's got an auto turret coming in. Yes, the tank goes down. He gets rid of an immortal. It's so close. It is nail biting. The bio army incredibly damaged. He stims there, but look at that. His army's too weak, and Clem loses so many valuable units. I think he's got to pull away. He's going to get rid of the Observer, and he's going to run away knowing Hero doesn't have vision. This is truly peak StarCraft right now. Two guys having a bit of stabby. You know, and it's fun. It's athletic, right? There's StarCraft that's very strategic, very mind gaming, and there's StarCraft that is mechanical and tactical, and this is the latter. This is the kind where it's just two very fast players trying to find openings. Clem has the advantage right now because he's up in workers and he's got a third command center halfway done. Third Nexus not started for Hero. Hero, though, has started the Wonder Tech, the please, I pray to the Lords. You know, he's going to get out his rain stick and he's going to start thumping the ground and saying, Lords, please bring some stormy weather to this world. Clem just keeping active. I do like that. Change targets there. He's trying to be annoying. This is a very Clem thing to do. Hey, he gets the Zealot. Not too bad. Bit of splash damage. Letting these units heal is the most important thing for Clem right now. It's a lot of valuable supply. This is something I think a lot of Terrans who get too tilted in this matchup forget that, like, preserving Marauders is so important. A Marauder, almost as expensive as a Stalker. It's a very valuable unit, and yet I think a lot of people forget about this and they kind of just let them bleed out, stim in with red hit point Marauders, let 6 Marauders go down, not realizing just how much money they're giving away, how much value. Marauders are actually a very valuable unit. Zealot counter for Hero. His army on the front, still very force field and mortal focused. He's got Storm almost finished though. That's going to change things, man. He's already energy. He's rizzed up his High Templar with energy. He's juiced him up. And Clem has no idea when Storm's ready, so he can't run in and click on that because it's way too dangerous. 6 SCVs go down. Oh, that's big damage. Clem should not have let that happen. He should just go Ghosts and chill, but I think he's got to get out of here. He's kind of playing like Beyond right now. He's like, Storm doesn't exist. And it's like, no, it does exist. You know, you already saw the High Templar. Committing in here is a crazy choice for Clem. Yes, the Immortals almost go down, but they don't quite. It's Clem who takes a much worse trade. His boost is off cooldown, or on cooldown, I should say. And he's taking awful fights. I mean, I think you can see a bit of trauma in Clem's play, where he's both maybe not diving fast enough when he sees the first Templar, and then he's diving way too hard once Storm is certainly finished, because you've seen High Templar hanging around, rizzed up on energy for the last 30-40 seconds, so it's not a big deal. I don't know why I'm calling it rizzed, by the way, guys. Just, that's today, first time calling it that. Drop goes in. Stalkers do chase it away. Good recall. Widowmine will get cleaned up. He's going to unload here and try to catch these Stalkers, I guess. Really fighting for map control, isn't he? Yeah, Clem has such a good sense of, like, the things you can pull off when you've got map control that you sometimes otherwise can't. He's going to pull back through the little tank trap thingies. Fire that. Good first EMP, but I don't think he has enough for all of the High Templar. He's definitely down on the energy. He's going to need Hero to clump those High Templar. Hero's favorite move. Clem's so far out on supply. Surely he's got this in the bag just looking at the supply. I mean, Hero's third base. He never built a probe. These are just workers from his main, which is almost completely mined out. Okay, Snipe. Oh, Snipe is the high value play, because then you actually kill the Templar rather than just removing a bit of energy. Baits a Storm there without taking too much damage from it. There are more Storms coming in, though. There's another one. Oh, he's got to get out. He's got to get out. Maybe staying a bit too long on the front there. Overstims combined with Storms will wear your bio down eventually. We're just 2 seconds away from one more Storm entering the fray. The Widowmine's getting some good shots off. Ooh, Medevac got shot down by that. He's got to watch out for the Storm. Does bait it. Very well done by Clem. Very well done. Does Clem have a miss rally? No, it feels like Clem is way up in supply, but his army looks frighteningly small. We've got to realize that Hero's reinforce is entirely on the front, though, whilst Clem has to rally units in. Liberator goes around the north. Stalkers are going to run into that, though. That's very fortuitous for Hero, very lucky. He doesn't notice it! Oh, that's bad. That lib's going to cause problems. Yep, doesn't have anything there right now. Oh my gosh, the prism! The prism filled with High Templar walks into the ghost, gets EMP'd and shot down! And just like that, I think Clem's going to take game 3, guys. Oh, he is. He's going to take game 3. Because he distracted him with the lib, did a bit of damage, and most importantly, got a bit lucky, drew Hero's attention away. Oh, if Hero just saw that lib, might have had a small chance of getting back in this game. But Clem was building a 4th command center. 1-1 upgrades against no Forge, and he does end up closing it out. Alright guys, we had another Engineering Bay block. Hero comes down a little bit decently timed. Saw it pretty early. So he's going to go Cybercore, and with 5 probes, he will get rid of the eBay. Clem on the other side just going for a Marine first. He wants to go for a quick factory, which does sometimes lead into proxy Hellion. Or like with a proxy Starport Hellion drop. I don't think that's the case this game. Where's his SCV? Oh, there it is. I don't know why I couldn't see that on the minimap. Sorry, guys. We are on a little laptop screen, so my observing is going to be a little bit sloppy. But we'll do the best we can. Mule does drop as well. Stalker's getting chrono boosted second gas here. Probe moving forwards. Alright. He's going to see the command center on the high ground. Marine shouldn't be able to get the kill. Good turnaround for Hero. It's match point, guys. If Clem takes Hero out, he's going to fall to the lower bracket. I mean, you want to get through today. You want to win this match, win the next one, and just be straight through to the top 4 players in the tournament. Because if you get to the top 4, you get to go play live in Paris. I think it's next month, October, right? I believe, guys, is the finals. Or is it actually it might be later this month. You guys, actually, is it the 27th? I think it might. I still might be over here in Europe, so I think I might be able to cast it myself. Obviously not from Paris, but from over here in the UK. Command center's there. Stalker's there. Cybercore's on the way. Cyclone's building. Alright, so we've got a Cyclone. Command Center's almost finished. Twilight Council coming up right now. Second Gateway chilling. What's the probe count? 29 against 25. Stalker's going to cause problems. Cyclone's not ready yet. You don't want to bleed these Marines out this early. This is bad for Clem. I think Clem got greedy moving down at this time. He just did not need to move down here. Oh, he's going to take so much damage, man. Now the Cyclone comes out for a little bit of revenge, and he should be able to trap 2 of these, right? Oh, but look, they go after the Cyclone. Great move, and that allows him to pull the weak Stalker to the back. That's so slick. Dude, Hero just messed him up. Clem's got to be a bit more clinical in the early game. I think Clem's actually having really big issues since he got tilted in this matchup. I do think he's just got to be a bit more perfect in the early game. I'm not sure if that'll help against Classic, but I think against a guy like Hero, it really can. Oh, dude, the drop forwards is great, but that Cyclone needs to chill. Yeah. Gets another Stalker for a Marine. That's a much better trade there. And you can see the units lost tab is actually looking really good now for Clem. Every Stalker kill is worth so much. Now, 4 gas is up, which means even with the Robo, you know he's going to drop that Templar Archives. Probably about 520, I would imagine, in that main base. So it's going to be a big 2-base build-up. Now, if Clem just goes for an all-in and Storm's finished when he arrives, it's bad. But remember what we saw earlier on Sandworm. If you don't build an economy as Hero, you just sit on 2 base for too long, it can actually work against you. So we're doing a pressure. I wouldn't call this an all-in, guys. It's 2 Cyclones, a pack of Marines, and it's a committed pressure. He's going to hit the front with that, lib siege the main, and then he's building tanks behind it. He might even rally these across the map. It's going to be pretty far behind the initial push, though. And I mean, this is a lot of Stalkers. It's a lot of Stalkers. Templar Archives has started now, guys. He's moving forward, is Clem. Cyclone Marine Medevac is there. Liberated going into the main base. He's going to try and fight this off. Those first 2 Stalkers blinked out of vision very nicely. Clem, he's got the Cyclones for ranges. Tank's coming in behind. He's got to pull back to the siege tank. Liberator smashing those probes in that main base. He actually recalls from his natural to his main, which you do not see every day, guys. Liberator unsieges, gets out of there. Only 4 probes taken out. Good defense by Hero. And he's going to try and pull this tank away, but with the Observer watching him, he's going to have to turn these Cyclones around, not to mention the siege tank to try and cover his retreat. Hero maybe chasing a bit too far. Does blink backwards, though. Only loses 1 Stalker there, I think. Units lost tab still in favor of Clem, but not by too much. I wouldn't mind the tank sieging up here. He's got to be careful, man. 2 more Marines do get paid as a price for returning home. 3rd Command Center starts up here in the main. Starport will be going a reactor in the near future. Oh, he's got the factory reactor ready for him. Nice. 3rd Nexus goes down as Hero's now got map control, and he's got High Templar with Storm. So I'd say Hero shouldn't really be ahead with how delayed his 3rd is, but with just what I've seen with Clem's interactions against Storm recently, this does not bode that well for him. Like, I feel like you go back 3-4 months, pre-EWC, I'd be like, yeah, man, Clem is miles ahead. Look at the economy, look at the supply. I don't know, I just see him get a bit traumatized from that storm recently. Oh, hey, gets a bit of damage on the Stalker, not bad, not bad. Going up to 8 Gateway Storm, Forge massively delayed. And we do, of course, have the Liberator now coming down this right side of the map. Just chilling up there. He's going to wait maybe for Hero to be a bit distracted, is he? Uh-oh, Pylon sees him. He's been spotted. Gonna try and get a probe or two, but he's not going to find anything. He's got to get out. Big push on the front, though. The Liberator sacrificing itself to try and distract. He's going to try and lure Hero to the left side. Actually, he's going to be able to. But look at that massive Storm ambush. Oh, and having Storm ready when the push comes, such a game changer. But then again, is he out of Storm? Oh my gosh, he's only got, I think, one High Templar on the left side, but it's not there right now. It's not in position. That Liberator distracted him. He does Storm over there. The Stalkers, though, starting to crumble a little. The Siege Tanks are here. Archon's morphing, but they're in a very dangerous position, which means the Stalker model have to fight to try and defend these Archons. One Archon goes down. If Clem could get both, that would be big. He's not quite able to, not with the Prism there. Wait, is the Lib still alive? The Lib's still alive, denying mining on the natural. Oh, Hero F2'd everything back here. Oh, you're kidding me. The Liberator resieges. It should go down now. But Hero, he's so slow to react. So slow to react. He finally blinks down, but 4 more probes do fall. And look at that. Yes, there's a Storm drop, but on what? He tickles some Marauders, tickles the Widowmine, doesn't kill it. And that Nexus, so low. Hero has to break this right here, right now. If he loses this Nexus, it's lights out, but I think he can break this army because Clem's reinforced is a little slow. He's so far on the enemy side of the map. Widowmines get great shots on the Zealots. Good stutter step backwards. Yes, he loses his tanks, but Clem is still miles ahead economically. He's got the 3rd base up, and with no Storm energy in reserve, I think Clem's going to be taking Hero out. I do, as I said earlier, I think Clem can still play Bio against Hero. I think it's classic. It really is the brick wall for him, and that's why I wasn't impressed by the mech in game 1. Because I think just strategically, Hero's really good at taking advantage of a static style like that. Classic, he's a slower player, a bit more methodical, doesn't find those openings against mech nearly as easily. And even Classic did find the holes against Clem's mech the other week in the Wardy tournament. Bio dancing, just kind of hanging out here. Immortal Stalker Zealot Archon doing what they can. Hero desperate. He's not probing. He's looking for the Omega Storms. He's looking for the Omega win, but he just has so little to work with. Storm tickles some Marauders, but Clem's dodging is amazing. And look at that, dude. I swear that Marine looked like he was standing in the Storm graphic, didn't he? I know some of the map makers have been talking to me about. They've been saying like the Storm graphic should be adjusted to actually look the correct way, because like it's a little hard to visually read. I'm so used to it that I've never really noticed it in gameplay wise, but there are moments like that where it really does look like the Marine's standing in the storm but not taking damage, and you're like, hey, it's a little confusing. Oh, flanky Stimmy. He's looking for the Stalkers. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Run, run, run. Let my heart be true. For those who don't know, Japanese Ronald McDonald, I often think of him when I think of Hero, because Hero just plays such a wacky style. Oh, the Ghost gets the Prism just before it gets out. Nice micro for Clem. But yeah, if you haven't seen Japanese Ronald McDonald, it's basically they were like, family-friendly restaurant kind of mascot character, and they wanted to make him as much like Pennywise out of It as possible. Bio coming in. Watch out for the storm. Watch out for the storm. Dude, Hero with an amazing push. Clem's a little clumped here. He's got to get these SCVs off this base. Widowmine's hitting SCVs. Dude, there is no way. There is no way Hero can break him. He's got no units. But he's just got a lot of storms. Okay, finally the storms have got to the EMPs. And Clem's gonna hang on. It's just that moment where you're like, damn, the Terran army's a bit wounded. There's like 7-8 storms in that army, and even though he's got so little support, it did look scary for a moment. But of course, 4th command center is now finished. 2-2 is going to be starting soon. +2 started. A Forge just now begins for Hero. And he's reaching at this point. Clem's got this series in the bag. Really well played by him, and good to see him playing Bio. I wonder if he'll try it against Classic next time they play. As Classic... Oh, actually, I think the winner of this plays Classic. I think, right? I think they're playing later today. So I think we're going to see that rematch. Oh, that's exciting. He's going to have some time to think about it as well because we've got a few more best of fives before that upper bracket semi-match does happen. Zealot Stalker coming in. Oh, wrapping around the left side. Bio Ghost is going to clean up those Zealots. High Templar come forward. There's a few Vikings ready to deal with any Prism or Colossus swap, but Hero is way too broke to afford that. And the Bio coming in with a surround makes Storm naturally way less effective. Archon isn't even able to morph there, and Hero will tap out. GG, well played. Oh, I mean, it is his tournament life on the line. Sorry, as normally I'm pretty good at calling when a player leaves because, like, they're like, okay, well, now I have no hope. But Hero's like, I have energy recharge. It's coming off cooldown in a moment. I want to fill up one more High Templar with energy and just drop a couple more Storms before this game's over. There we go. He's got the energy recharge inside the Prism. He's going to get a big Storm on the Metavax. Oh, great damage there. Second Storm, not so effective. The Vikings have already snapped the Warp Prism, though. And he's going to have to tap out. Clem gets the 3-1. Nice victory for him. And Hero just not able to keep pace with Clem. GG, well played.